Today's subject is the science of karmic healing. I have some research references and conclusions to share with you. Then I will add my own experiences and bring the whole thing to new understanding by throwing light with my understanding and my experience. The scientists say that human species has evolved with two-stranded DNA found in every cell, determining the form. One part determines the form, the other determines the potential diseases and spiritual gifts. And another research says DNA contains blueprint for one's life's purpose and divine personality. Scientists are very clear about what we think is not our original blueprint. Means the one part only we are able to study, the two parts of the DNA, we are able to study still now only one part. And scientists are really feeling that is not really our blueprint. The unrevealed DNA, the part still which they are not able to discover or make it clear, logically understand, is called, they are naming it as a junk DNA. I can say the part which is discovered is junk DNA. The part which is not discovered, still yet to be realized, maybe I can use the word even the words like a biomemory, all these are too small words. They are using the word junk DNA or shadow DNA that contains information about who you really are on a level of spiritual beingness. I can say that part is what I can give the name Jivatma. The part which they are calling as junk DNA or shadow DNA, I'll give the name as Jivatma. Of course, I can give the name individual self DNA. Individual self DNA, because the junk word is too small, even the shadow word is too small. The healing modalities clear karmic blockages and stimulate these dormant portions of the DNA. So these are the discoveries. Whatever now I said are from various scientific researches, the discoveries and conclusions from various scientists. Now I'll try to explain exactly what I experience in these lines. Scientists are absolutely right when they say there's two parts in DNA. Only one part they are able to study, which is responsible for form and diseases. There is other part which is responsible for spiritual gifts. I tell you, the other part which is responsible for spiritual gifts only carries this extrasensory power, all the siddhis. That only carries the divine personality. Understand? That part of the DNA only constantly fights when I evolve you. Whenever the evolution happens, that DNA only fights. That is why when you fight with me, you will see that whole body pains. See, when you are conceptually fighting with me, whole body will pain. Because it is not, you are not fighting with me, you are fighting with part of you which I am awakening. Understand? This part which already science has understood, this part carries the ordinary samskaras and biomemories. See, this carries the microcosmic samskaras, whatever you got in this body, those samskaras, from the body of fish to this body. In Indian tradition, Vedic tradition, we claim fish is the first individual which has a capacity to collect samskara. Of course, even before fish, you can collect samskara, but it is untransmittable. That is why Matsyavatara is first avatara. Please understand. As fish, any engram you collect only can be transmittable. Till then, it is so subtle, negligible, it cannot be transmittable. That is why the Vedic tradition we call first incarnation is Matsyavatara. Then the avatars, then the incarnations expand and grow. Actually, you need to understand, everybody is an incarnation who knows they are incarnations. That's all. See, incarnation means what exactly? Taking birth again and again. If you know you took birth again and again, that will lead you to enlightenment and you are incarnation. That's all. Nothing else. If you know you took birth again and again and again, and it's a reality, you will just realize, oh God, hey, I'm doing the same thing. That's enlightenment. Then you are incarnation. Understand, when I say, in 2000 I realized I am an incarnation, that is what I mean. It's not that before 2000 I was not incarnation. Only in 2000 I realized I am an incarnation. You understand what I am saying? You see, when you realize you took birth again and again and again, that suddenly makes you an incarnation. That just makes you an incarnation. So, even now all of you are incarnations. Now if you realize that truth, you are an incarnation, you can write a biography, autobiography of an avatar. With that understanding, when you look your whole life back, you will understand whole thing was very synchronized way, very synergetic way, was planned for the speak hit. For the speak hit only, everything was very synergetically planned, in a synchronized way. Now you will not understand that. You will see, oh, it's a big chaos. No, it is not. It is not. No chaos is a big chaos. You thinking that everything is chaos is the biggest chaos. Nothing else. You thinking everything is everything is chaos is the biggest chaos. Nothing else is chaos. It's a very revolutionary idea which I heard from Ram Surat Kumar, that Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, saint who lived in Arunachala. Many of you have heard about him, and very revolutionary thought, very revolutionary process. When somebody goes to him for liberation and all that, it's a little unconventional, untraditional. He always used to keep a rope, bunch of rope. I have seen. And he will completely tie them. He will tie their leg, he will tie their hands, and he will make them sit. Sometime even 24 hours he will make them sit. And those poor fellows have to be sitting. And naturally, 5-6 hours the dedication will be there. See, 5-6 hours, oh, this Swami is making me. The dedication will be there. And you will sit with patience. But after 10 hours, naturally the patience will wither away. Completely the patience will wither away. You can't, you see, just imagine, 10 hours your hands and legs are tied and made to sit, and you don't know when he is going to release you. See, if you know in one day he is going to release you, you will not have a problem. You don't know when he is going to release you. So first 5-6 hours the dedication will be up. That part will be up. Everything is okay. But after 10 hours, what will happen? That is when the suffocation will start. And especially physical tying up is such a survival thing. Nobody can tolerate more than maximum 10 hours. 10 hours is the maximum. You can't tolerate more than that. That's a maximum. Especially people who come to him for enlightenment, all these things, civilized people. They are not traditional trained criminals who are habituated for prison or handcuff and all that. All civilized, cultured people. So 10 hours will be too much. Then that microcosmic biomemory, see the dedication which they carry in microcosmic biomemory will be exhausted. Let me give you the example of this microcosmic biomemory, macrocosmic biomemory. From the fish body till now, whatever you collected is microcosmic biomemory. That part only the scientists are able to analyze and understand as a known DNA. Let us call that as a known DNA. And the other part, which I call Jivatma DNA, the individual self DNA, that part is a macrocosmic biomemory. Please understand. Macrocosmic biomemory means whatever has happened in the cosmos, whatever has happened in your body. When I say your body means not only just the 6 feet, whatever ingredient added to make these 6 feet. Means when you are first time fish and the fight which you had with your spouse fish, that memory will be there. From whatever you collected from the fish body, it will pass to the next body, next body, next body. From that body to till this body, whatever was collected and transmitted is what I am calling microcosmic biomemory. And whatever has happened in cosmos is macrocosmic biomemory. A certain dedication or love will happen in microcosmic biomemory. With that only you recognize my microcosmic biomemory. See, in my microcosmic biomemory, something extraordinary expresses. So your microcosmic biomemory's dedication recognizes that. And after some time, the 10 hours passes. The 10 hour will be over. This Ram Saratkumar's 10 hour. If you see his photograph, he will always be having a thick coconut fiber rope, kaya rope. He will be having it. So he will tie the people with that only. He will tie their hand and leg very tightly. They can't move. And after that, he will put the hands on the leg and tie it. And those fellows have to be sitting. In 10 hours, that microcosmic dedication, microcosmic biomemory dedication will go away. That devotion will go away. That will be exhausted. After that, when the suffocation starts only, he will just sit and wait. He will watch how they are irritated. And by 10 hours, they will start telling him, no, leave us, it's okay, wait. And then he will ask, so this is your dedication for enlightenment. He will make them very clearly understand that their microcosmic biomemory strength is only this much. Only this much spiritual experience can be acquired by them. See, it's like your microcosmic biomemory's dedication gets attached to my microcosmic biomemory's expression. Now I want to define God. Whatever you don't have is God. All that you don't have put together is God. That is why you are attracted to God. So whatever your microcosmic biomemory does not have, my microcosmic biomemory has it. That is why that attraction. But the funny thing is, your microcosmic biomemory's attraction, how much dedication it has, that much only I can pour. I can't pour more than that. But your greed demands more pouring. More pouring is demanded. So within the 10 hours, he will make them understand that this much only can be poured, understand. And there are few people, very intelligent, I have seen at least 2 cases. who just withstood more than 10 hours also. Maybe they withstood 15 hours, one full day. And by night, they started, that regular thing started happening. Somehow he was also interested. He sat patiently and made them understand, made them understand. Now your microcosmic biomemory dedication is exhausted. Look. Very simple awareness, nothing else. He brought them to awareness and told them, now don't dedicate also. Don't dedicate because now you will have fear. Fear. Don't go for dedication. Don't go for anything. Go for love and go for awareness. See, when your microcosmic biomemory is exhausted, don't go for dedication. That's the wrong step you will be taking. You will be pressurizing yourself. You will be forcing yourself because you will have tremendous fear. You say, I have a deep concern for you. When your microcosmic biomemory is exhausted, don't think I am angry with you. I have concern for you. Only I don't know how to express it because any word I express, you will not experience that as a concern. You are in fear. Person who is in fear can't experience love. Whenever your microcosmic biomemory is exhausted, when the dedication dries down, go for love. That is why this puja, deity, guru, and remembering sweet memories and the beautiful time, beautiful experience, strengthening your feeling connection with the Master, the love with the Master. He will suddenly release all the rope when they are not expecting, all the rope, and he will tell them to lie down. Lie down and feel the difference between the suffocation mood and this free mood. Understand? See, when the microcosmic biomemory dedication is exhausted, the love which he shows is like a drilling. You see, it's like a two-layer. Microcosmic biomemory dedication and macrocosmic experience, macrocosmic DNA. When that gets exhausted, the dedication is exhausted, he will drill them with the love. That drill will open up this macrocosmic experience. When they lie down, I have really seen completely, not just their brain, pulse rate will become zero. I have seen at least 2% whose pulse rate has become zero. He will make them, he did both persons separately, not at a time, separately. I have seen he made that person lie down on that samadhi, tomb of Tiruvannamalai. In Tiruvannamalai there is a burial ground where he used to live regularly. He made that person lie down on the tomb. After that, removing the rope, I have seen that person becoming zero, that pulse rate becoming zero. It's like a step-by-step process, that biomemory. He will agitate it, then exhaust it, the dedication, the biomemory will go away. And the funny thing is, he knows exactly where that person is caught. He will not use this process for everybody. He knows exactly where the person is caught. And somehow you will agitate exactly that samskara by talking. By talking, you will exactly awaken that samskara. One fellow gave the promise to him, I saw in these two. It's a very beautiful process. Promise to him that I will not move till you leave me. I won't bother. So he sat and really he sat whole day and did not get agitated. Then he had a dog. He threw the dog and he sent word through that dog to the Narayana Swami, the another one mantric saint about whom I have spoken in my biography. He sent word for that guy. That guy came, and both of them are smokers. That guy is a specialist in having a mirror, and he will apply some kind of a anjanam, that black eyeliner on the mirror, and whatever he wants, he will show it like a TV. So, this Raghupati Yogi was making this fellow sit. He is sitting, this guy is just sitting. One day passed, but this fellow is not agitated. This Raghupati Yogi sent word for that Narayana Swami. That Narayana Swami came. And this Raghupati Yogi said, in a very, Yogi Ram Swarat Kumar, he said, in a very casual way, hey, show him what is happening in his house with his wife. That guy showed that lady was having some affair with somebody. This fellow's only attachment was with the wife. So that fellow showed it, the TV showed very clearly that wife was having affair with somebody. So immediately that engram got agitated. That agitation happened, got awakened. And this fellow immediately wanted to go to the house. He's telling, leave my rope, leave everything, I wanted to go there. And somehow this Raghupati Yogi was able to, Ram Swarat Kumar was able to slowly talk to him. Now tell me, you gave the promise that you will work till the end. Now I only brought and awakened this agitation. Now even if you go, what are you going to do? What can be done? Nothing can be done. So understand, this is the biomemory in which you are stuck. Why the microcosm, see, when this microcosmic biomemory and macrocosmic biomemory meets, that area will be very thick. That microcosmic biomemory's last layer will be very thick. It's like a coconut. When you grind the coconut, finally the shell will be very thick. The white part will be very soft. That will all come away. That's what is dedication part. That coconut part is the engram. When there you start digging, it will create sound. That layer, his layer, that layer for him was his deep attachment to the wife. So that social conditioning, the wife has to be only for me. See, please understand, the concept of rape, concept of sex, concept of child abuse, concept of brahmacharya, concept of multiple relationships, concept of this polygamy or monogamy, all these things, now what we have are completely European civilization's concepts. Somehow, that Ram Swarat Kumar explained, and another important thing is that devotee decided to stand by the master's words. It is actually fortune. I tell you, that last tip is always fortune. Because which side you jump, that's all. There's nothing else. I tell you guys are fortunate. All of you had the tipping point. Blessed are you guys. Don't take the blessing for granted. You are fortunate, you tipped this side, my side. I can say, fortunate word may look too mystical. Decision to decide. Decision to decide. This guy decided to decide. So, I could see very clearly, he drilled it. Means Raghupati Yogi was able to drill it. Drill that layer. That macrocosmic biomemory got exhausted, and the thick layer also he drilled it. The moment that drilling happens, the moment the microcosmic biomemory's drilling happens, the macrocosmic biomemory rushes into it. This is what I do in a very subtle, small way, Anandagandha Chakra. Very small scale. You see, in Anandagandha Chakra, it will lead only to that macrocosmic experience when you close your eyes and sit. But in the life itself, you see, it's like what is Anandagandha Chakra? You know, that coconut shell is there. That all that coconut fiber, coconut part, white part, fruit part, that is taken away by that is what is microcosmic biomemory. Only if one hole I make in that shell, and macrocosmic biomemory gushes through that one hole, it is called Anandagandha Chakra. If the whole shell is broken, it is called Jivan Mukti. So if you are living with me, I will break the whole shell. put you in Sahaja Samadhi. Because I am a macrocosmic biomemory, I grind you both sides. See, my form, microcosmic biomemory of me, is only grinding the fruit side, the white side. And my macrocosmic biomemory, me present everywhere, that will be grinding you from the shell side. Both will be grinding. This macrocosmic biomemory obeys prayer. If you feel the grinding is too much, pray, immediately macrocosmic biomemory will stop it. Or if you say, no, I want this to go on, let it be done, let me be done with it, then it will go on. Please understand, this microcosmic biomemory which is responding to you is that is only cleaning the fruit side, the white side. It will be drilling, drying and drying. That how much that fruit thickness, that much only is the dedication. When all the dedication is exhausted, when that n-gram crushing is happening, that's where that sound will come. That sound is coming means that n-gram crushing is happening. N-gram crushing is happening. See, when that sound comes, this microcosmic biomemory will not move further. It cannot move further. The macrocosmic biomemory only will be pushing further. Means like your hand only will be pushing. Understand this coconut drilling, you will understand exactly. This macrocosmic biomemory only will be pushing. Means the cosmic Nityananda only will be pushing. If you pray, it will stop. It will stop and it will relax. It will give you the relaxation. And another one thing, the macrocosmic Nityananda pushing will not even be known to microcosmic Nityananda. I do not know, but I know the pushing is happening, that's all. I do not know how it is happening. Understand? If something like that happens, be very clear. Cosmic Nityananda is concerned about you. Means the macrocosmic biomemory is concerned about you. Otherwise, it does not need to send information to microcosmic biomemory and make that express it to you. If you are sitting hiding from me, if I send somebody and call you, be very clear, macrocosmic biomemory is calling you. Because in so many things, where is the microcosmic biomemory's time? Where is the place or time for all these things? And many times, I do the actions which I do not logically think. But exactly you know why it happened. Many times what I do not know the reason, but you know the reason. The problem is you think I know the reason. That is where the problem happens. When you think I know the reason, you start abusing me, thinking that I am drilling you. No. Microcosmic biomemory is innocent. Leave me. It is the macrocosmic biomemory playing this game. But one great thing about the macrocosmic biomemory is it listens to your prayer immediately. If you say, no, it is too much, please wait, it will just wait. But delay of waste of time. But it will wait. It will wait for as long as you want. If you say, no, go ahead, it will open up. See, when the microcosmic biomemory exhausts, the layer which need to be opened is that second layer DNA, what I call as Jivatman portion of DNA, the self DNA. Understand? The self DNA. Why I call that as a Jivatman, because still it is connected to microcosmic biomemory. When the microcosmic biomemory is completely exhausted, then this unknown DNA, what they call junk DNA, shadow DNA, that part can be called as the Parabrahman or the God, the macrocosmic biomemory or Paramatma. You don't need to call that as Jivatma. As on now, microcosmic biomemory in you is known DNA. Macrocosmic biomemory in you is Jivatman. In me, the microcosmic biomemory is Jivatman and macrocosmic biomemory is Paramatman. There is no known DNA in me. That is why I defy all the known DNA rules and philosophies. This is the information I forgot to tell. This is a punchline about this. Ram Saratkumar showing through Narayana Swami mirror to this guy. The funny thing is, after he made that person experience that silence, he calls it as a mauna. Mauna means the pulse rate becoming zero. He will check it from this point and that point, and I saw that that person, the devotee, experienced mauna. You will be surprised. After one day, the devotee went back to the house. The wife was not in the house in which the mirror showed. See, when he saw where the mirror showed, at that time and that day, wife was not even in that house. The mirror showed lie. Understand? What that mirror showed was a lie. So that guy came back. Fortunately, I was there when that guy came back again for next darshan. Then he asked, no, neither that she was in the place nor that affair was going on. It was a lie. Why did you do? How did you do? All Ram Saratkumar did was he was laughing. That's all. That was his answer. I don't know how you will make it, what you understanding you will have out of this. Means, he simply created the whole scene. That's a punchline. That's a punchline. And he had one assistant to create that lie. You understand? He simply created the whole thing in that mirror through the Narayana Swami's help, because Narayana Swami is well known for this. He can show anything. So finally, what is it boiled down to what? He just worked on his engram, and the information was shown to him was not even a fact. It was not even a fact. But of course, these kind of risky games to play, you need a tremendous understanding between the master and disciple. See, if even one place, if something cracks, what will happen? If that fellow has rushed there and suddenly sees neither she was there nor that other person was there, he will lose complete trust over this person, the master, and everything, and it will become a big ruckus. And when you lose trust over this kind of scenes, you will never, not only not come back to this master, you will never go to any other master for 3-4 janmas. Like a cat once it boils its tongue with a hot milk, it will never go near the milk. Big risk only. But you are successful. You are successful. He had an infrastructure, dedicated disciple. In one day, he put that guy into the Mauna state. He calls that as a Mauna state. Nirvikalpa Samadhi as a Mauna state. He put that person in Mauna. This is what Ramakrishna calls as muhurta falling in place. Means, somebody's child was bitten by a snake. He runs to the doctor for medicine. Doctor says, go. When Swati Nakshatra was in the high peak, it should rain, and there should be a human skull in which the rain should fall, and a frog should try to jump that human skull, and a snake should try to catch it, and it should miss the frog and bite the human skull, and the venom from that snake should fall into the human skull, mix with the Swati Nakshatra rain water in human skull. Bring that. If you give that to the child, your child will be revived. And this guy goes in search, and really, fortunately, that day was Swati Nakshatra peak, and suddenly it started raining. He was running near a cremation ground where there was a human skull, and he just waited and prayed. One frog jumped, and there was a snake to catch that frog, and that snake missed the frog and bit the snake, the human skull, and the poison came out and mixed with that water. He brought and gave, and child got revived. Muhurta. Ramakrishna calls this as a muhurta happening. That's what exactly happened with Ram Sarat Kumar's thing. Muhurta happened. Muhurta means this guy had a dog to go and call Narayan Swami. And the Narayan Swami had these extraordinary powers and mirror. Not only mirror and power, even to tell a lie. The mirror is able to even tell a lie. I had another one experience with that mirror. Secretly, when he was not there, I picked up that mirror and put a Anjanam and saw. And the Devi appeared actually. It was an Yakshini. It appeared. And I got frightened. I think I have spoken about this. Later on I will describe that incident. Yakshini means the demigods. Demigods. Anyhow, he had the mirror. Then this guy he decided to decide. Decided to decide. He had experience. After that he went and found, but one beautiful thing is when he came back and understood it's a lie information, he was not angry. He was so grateful. He was so grateful. He was with tears of ecstasy. You went to any extreme to put me into this experience. He appreciates the risk taken by the master. See, otherwise anything can become irrelevant. Suddenly, the whole thing can become irrelevant. And another one thing, this guy also had that kind of a attraction to this microcosmic biomemory of the Ram Sarat Kumar. So that love plays a major role. Love acts as a lubrication. When microcosmic biomemory and macrocosmic biomemory is drilling the coconut. But one important thing, everybody behaves very intelligently till their coconut is grilled. That is the most unfortunate thing. See, let other coconuts get drilled. These guys will have so much of consolation, love, promise, words, inspiration, lifting, elevating. When their coconut gets drilled only, What about you guys? Even for me this has happened. When my coconut was getting drilled in 1999, before 2000, even I had to go through such a thing. See, when you do the weightlifting, how the nerves are seen by green, like that when I went through that grilling, all my nerves were seen as red. That kind of a drilling. Whenever you are able to see the nerves in the red, just understand the drilling is going on. Drilling is going on. That's what has happened in me. It will not be seen in the green or other color. It will be very deep red. Heavy pain. Heavy pain. Physically, these are the symptoms to find out whether drilling is going on. Choosing to choose. Deciding to decide. It's almost like when you are standing in the waves, the sand under your feet will be washed away, taken away. If you decide to push, you can stand. If you just slip one step, what will happen? You will just go with the wave. Whenever, actually in Ramakrishna Mission, two fellows used to do this job of drilling. Brahmananda and Vivekananda. These two are, especially Swamiji is a great master. Whenever he needs lubrication, he will send them to Sharada Devi. That's why I say, Sharada Devi is the Sangha Janani. Sangha Janani. She always took care of that lubrication and managed and helped people to decide. During the moment, they need to decide. During the moment, they need to decide. She used to stand. This thing which I am talking, we can even scientifically prove, because see, the parietal lobe gets thicker and thicker. For example, for normal man it will be only 10 units thicker. I am giving you the example. I am revealing all these things so that future people can do research. Normal man 10 units only. The first spiritual experience level will be like something like a 20 unit. See, from 10 to 19 unit, growth will not be a problem at all. You will not even know. But the 19 to 20 jump time, there will be a strong thickening process. That breakthrough time. That's what I call this drilling. That a shell getting drilled. And after the 20 happens, till 29 you will not have a problem. That 29 to 30, that breakthrough, there will be another one problem. There will be another one, move. Strong means the thickening, the jump of the thickening part. And there will be a time, I can say 100 unit if it gets thickened. After that, the thickening will happen like 1,000, 2,000, there will not be any pain. That part, the 100 part, where there will not be any more pain during further thickening is enlightenment. Understand? There will not be any more pain during further thickening. That part, that spot is enlightenment. And don't think after enlightenment thickening stops. No. Thickening goes on and on. That is why there's so many new things are getting revealed. But that's unit when the further no more suffering during the thickening process. That spot breakthrough is enlightenment. That's what I call as enlightenment. That is what has happened in me at the age of 12. But it does not mean the thickening has stopped. It went on and on and on. There was no suffering. You see, when I describe to you guys the 1919 experience, I describe as suffering. It is not suffering as you understand. But I need to tell you for your understanding. That's all. It was different. Now, the 10 to 12, that 9 to 10 when it happens, what you experience, you call it as suffering. That is why I named that as a suffering. But that was not suffering for me. one good thing, when drilling is not happening exactly in you, when your shell is not getting drilled, listen all these things carefully and keep it inside. So that when shell gets drilled, it will be useful. Because when your shell gets drilled, these words will not be useful. Only love will be useful. Only love and care will be useful. These words will not be useful. This will not be useful. If your shell is getting drilled now, these words will not make sense for you. Maybe if you feel, I have love for you, that is why I am uttering these words, that idea may be useful for you. If you don't have that idea, then these words have no use for you. If you are not getting drilled, if your shell is not getting drilled now, then take these words and keep it. It will be useful for you. When that guy saw in the mirror the wife having an affair, I saw his kurmanadi. Kurmanadi is this nadi. It just goes. When you do the weightlifting, the kurmanadi only is seen in green. I saw his kurmanadi became completely black, the anger, because that was only engram was there. And then after he settled with the master, it became red, means the drilling was done. When he went and came back, I saw it became a pure rose color, like shining, gold. When you do the weightlifting, means that working on the muscles, it will be green. Based on the kurmanadi's color, you can find out what is going on with you. During the grinding, you need a love of a person who does not support your negativity. That is important thing. See, sometimes you will get a wrong company. They will give you the love and support, but they will support your negative side. That is the most dangerous thing. You need somebody who will give you the love, but who will constantly remind you to stand up on positive side. Stand up on positive side. Stand up on master's side. But unfortunately, if you have a friend, that person is giving shraddha to you, understand? That person is not giving food to you, he is giving shraddha to you. Understand? Giving food is different, giving shraddha is different. Even though both the time rice only is offered. If that guy is giving you the love and giving you to stand with the master, he is giving you food. You are saved. But he is giving you the love and supporting your stand. Shraddha is getting done. Pitrubhyo swaha. He is giving only shraddha to you. Death, destruction. See this microcosmic biomemory has no memory. That is why only when macrocosmic biomemory wants to tell something, it downloads that, only that is there. So I have no other work, only expressing that. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. That's why I always tell people, when somebody comes and says, I'm feeling suffocated or it is too much, I tell them, all right, then pray. It will become all right. If you pray, then who is using me and punching, that person will stop. That power will stop. Then that constant punching will not be there. Some other biomemory will come, I will go, the punch will be directed to somebody else. And it will be punching somebody else. You please be busy with somebody else. Now I'll become busy with somebody else and something else. The second layer DNA, the Jivatman DNA, if that is awakened in you, you become a new being, new human being. The whole purpose is to awaken that second layer, Jivatman DNA in you guys, that's all, nothing else. It means you have to completely annihilate whatever you are holding. Like that Narada, when he was caught in the flood, in Yamuna, I told you Narada's story, who got caught in illusion. That wife went away. The child is slipping out of the hand. And luggage, the wealth, little wealth, is leaving the hand. So that is the time when the first level biomemory gets exhausted. Narada has to drop that. No other way, let go. Then Krishna's voice said, hey Narada, yeah, oh God, the second level biomemory is awakened. The Jivatman biomemory is awakened. Complete annihilation. There is no shortcut for in the spiritual line, understand. If you put yourself into that belt, conveyor belt, there is no shortcut. There is no shortcut. You can only pray and tell the power system, hey, stop the belt. I don't want to move further. Let the belt be stopped. The prayer will always have the answer. Either you should know, is this lubrication? Lubrication means love. Is this enough for me to go through this drilling, this process? Let me pass. If you feel no, it is too much, then tell, pray, stop the belt. That's all. There is no shortcut. There is no technique or shortcut. Technique and shortcuts can give you one drilling, like a one hole in the shell, Anandagandha, but not complete annihilation. All the concept you have, all the idea you have, all the relationship you have, all the holdings you have, everything has to be annihilated, no other way. Unfortunately, sometimes you can't even say, no, I don't want enlightenment, I don't want. You just stop this process. Maybe if you say that you can stop the process to the macrocosm, then it stops. I've seen. It stops and puts more lubrication. A lot of love and more lubrication and pacifies. But again, when you feel comfortable, everything is okay, again that belt starts moving towards the drilling machine. But that is what everybody wants. That is what all the jivas want. It's a tremendous love with which the cosmos does the whole drama game. So understand? Feel blessed till you stand this side. Feel blessed till you stand this side. Allowing this macrocosm to play. Even while you are not allowing, just allowing that you are not allowing. Understanding you are not allowing, but it is going to happen. All right. So let the Jivatman DNA be awakened in you. The self DNA be awakened in you. That is what is repository of all the siddhis, all the great siddhis, powers. See, in the microcosmic biomemory, the powers which has microcosmic biomemory is that moving your hand and eating, chewing, swallowing, lungs, heart, all these things are microcosmic biomemories, powers, which goes on without even your knowledge. Same way, in macrocosmic biomemory, that Jivatman DNA, there only all the extraordinary powers like a flying, levitating, all those things are there. Mahima, Lahima, Karima, Anima, Ishitvam, Vashitvam, Prapti, all those siddhis, they are there in macrocosmic biomemory. But that will be awakened only if the microcosmic biomemory is annihilated. Awakening the Jivatman DNA is the essence. So the essence of my today's message is two part of DNA you have. One is known by the science, which is responsible for your form, disease and all that. The unknown, the second one is unknown, which scientists call as junk DNA or shadow DNA, which I call as Jivatman DNA, self DNA. Awaken that self DNA, because that has all extraordinary powers. Life will become extraordinary joy when that is awakened. And the known DNA will dry. Those biomemories has to be dried. No other way. It cannot give you the life. That is not your blueprint. That is not your blueprint. You need to know that. As long as you catch that as a blueprint, life will be struggle. It will be struggle. So catch the macrocosmic DNA, allow that to open up. Life DNA, allow the Jivatman DNA, self DNA to open up. That will lead you to the ultimate. I bless you all with my deep love. Let you all experience the lubrication, love energy. Whenever you go through this grinding, whenever you need it, let the love energy fill you all. And let you all go through peacefully, blissfully the whole process and experience macrocosmic DNA enlightenment. Let you all achieve and radiate enlightenment. Today, we had the Nityotsava, flag hoisting, Nityotsava Dvajarohana for Swamiji's Jayanti Brahmotsava. Jayanti Brahmotsava 2011. So we finished, our whole Sangha has finished its drilling. Now we are entering into the smooth, beautiful, flowing macrocosmic biomemory. So we are ready and explode in 2012. So it's all over now. The coconut shell is broken and burnt. Now we have to flow into the smooth energy and explode for 2012. Let you all achieve and radiate enlightenment. Let's all achieve, radiate, experience, express, and explode and radiate the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you.